Air pollution consists of chemicals or particles in the atmosphere that pose serious health and environmental threats. Causes of air pollution include carbon dioxide, methane, and sulfur dioxide.
So, what are your research interests?
Yeah, I work on air pollution and climate change. I'm trained as an engineer, and I work in a field you might call atmospheric science. So I'm interested in how pollutants move through the air from one place to another and what effects they have on climate and on things like human health.
How old were you when you became interested in science, and is there a specific moment that sticks out to you?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think I've always been somewhat curious about the world around us and how things work. I remember in in high school, I was taking my first physics class, and we were studying Newtonian physics, so motion, and how velocity relates to acceleration and how that relates to position. And I remember thinking that um, velocity and acceleration were words that I used all the time, but now I actually had a mathematical definition of them, and I thought that that was really pretty neat that we could actually describe these words and concepts using math, and it kind of opened my eyes to what you could do with with science and with physics.
So, where did you go to college?
I was a Duke undergraduate. I hate to say that around here, but and I was an engineer. So I started engineering because I was felt like I was good at math and science and wanted to use it in a way that I thought would be beneficial to the world around us. My interest in climate change and air pollution, or broadly environmental topics, kind of came somewhat later. I was an environmental engineer and interested in environmental topics as an undergrad, but I was an undergrad long enough ago that I don't remember anybody in any class as I was an undergrad talking about climate change. So then I started thinking about what I wanted to do as I graduated and then went straight to graduate school. And in looking at different graduate schools, one of them, which was Carnegie Mellon, which is where I went, had a program in climate change, and I thought that was pretty neat. And as I thought about problems, I saw that as a big problem that was potentially going to be important over the rest of my career, and that I wanted to learn a lot more about.
What was your first research experience?
So I suppose my first research experience would have been an undergraduate project I did for my senior thesis. I'd also spent a summer actually at Notre Dame in
What
their
challenges
environmental
have you
engineering
faced
program,
becoming a
and
researcher?
did research experience well, I there, think you which have was to on constructed prove wetlands and yourself whether again they and could again. treat You have water. to go back to the basics and So that was think through a topic. that was interesting, and I ended up doing Done it for one topic, sketching out a design of what and for might be a paper, constructed wetland that would I I thought might I think we need treat to water, and remember I thought that was that, kind of I neat as think an part of engineer. Process of getting a PhD and becoming a researcher is actually learning how little we know about a lot of things. So we might act in class like we know a lot, but in fact and in fact we do know a lot. But the you grow an appreciation for all the things we don't know very well, and in fact how hard it is to know things. I think going toward a science-related career, my advice would be pay attention in school and do your work and do your best at it. But I think, in some cases you need to look outside of school for inspiration and other experiences. So go out in the woods, take a walk, think about what you see, think about what you see around you. Why are things the way they are?